It's funny, I was telling Manny ahead of time and his wife that one of the best things I see that I've ever seen in politics is when a family shows up together to do this together. I don't think it gets any better than that. It's just fantastic. All right, so right here is a slate of Clark County candidates. Now this stuff is exciting to me. I like city races and I like county races. State is a little bit down the list for me. And federal, sorry, did I say that out loud? No, I'm fine with federal as well. But I think one of the problems that we've had in the United States since I've gotten older, I'm not really old yet, but I'm a little bit older. One of the problems that I've had is that we've got so sucked into national politics, we pay no attention to our personal communities. And this is what's going on. We live here, right? We're in these cities. We're in these cities. Like Holly was talking about, public safety. We're in this city, having a city that's safe in Henderson, having how that works. So I'm excited about the opportunity to have these guys here and to kind of turn them loose a little bit on some things, all right? So, guys, I'm going to start just real briefly by, I want you to take like 90 seconds each. Well, that's tough, Bill. This is a tough crowd, right? So like take whatever 90 you want to take, but these guys are going to start throwing rocks, and we got to be out of here too. We got plenty of time, though. So what I want to do is take like 90 seconds to 2 minutes and just talk about, introduce yourself, talk about who you are. I have the phone here, so you're totally fine. That right there is cool, right? So just we can start. Let's start down here. We'll start with you, Dr. Maxim. And so just talk about who you are, and importantly, for me, what's the draw of politics? I mean, I've read through all of your bios and whatnot and the things that are, but why it's a big thing to become involved in politics. It's a big price on your family and on your life. So who are you and why do this?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I'm Dr. John Maxim. Why do this? Because I care. Manny's up here because of our family, and none of us, I can assure you, me and Manny, had no intentions of being politicians. By the way, I'm still not a politician. I'm John Maxim, and I'm representing you. It's time that we get into the fight, everybody, because we have been solemn and we've been sleeping and they've been taking advantage of us. I served in this country, I was served in Afghanistan, and I started to see through a lot of the lies that had been told to me as I come along. Now I'm 45, I've got a family, and I'll fight to the death for them, and that's why I'm fighting, and that's why I'm running today. County Commission is a huge position. We can make a big, big impact, and there's so many things that we can do because we can actually try and care. What you have had for the last 20 plus years is career politicians that have been bought and sold, and they haven't done a damn thing for you. It is time that we step forward. It's time that we step up, and that's exactly why I've done what I'm doing. I'm pretty much running for affordability. I want to imprint mental health because it's dear to me, as well as it's a problem in our nation, and especially here. It's not going to be fixed by throwing money at it. They've been throwing money at it for a long time now. It's not going to be fixed by building 925 facility that is government granted. It's going to be fixed by putting Jesus at the forefront and saying, let's care and let's improve this community and let's meet this community where you are today. It is multifactorial, it is complex, and it's time we take a stand. So take a stand with me. Get with me, MaximForCountyCommission.com, or come out, we'll have events, and I want to hear what matters to you, because I would not be up here if none of this mattered. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Judy Joe. I'm running for Clark County Assessor. Just like Dr. Maxim and the rest of my colleagues, I'm here because I care. I want accountability in the assessor's office. Those of you who received your tax bills just recently in the last couple of days, you can see it went up 3%. However, the value of our homes went down 2.7% in the last 12 months. 5 months ago, I was just a homeowner, like the rest of my colleagues. I'm running because we need to have transparency. We need to have accountability. Where are our taxes going? Why is 40% of our property tax going to education, and we're not teaching our kids? We have 24,000 kids in Clark County that are between the ages of 16 and 25 who are not in school and who are not working. What are we doing for them? They are the future of this country. We need to have apprentice programs. We need to get them into construction and the plumbing and the electricity, any of those fields outside of college, because we have a duty to our kids. As your Clark County assessor, I will represent Democrats, Independents, and Republicans fairly. If you own a house, you're paying property taxes, I am there to champion for you. Judy Joe for Clark County Assessor. Thank you.
I got to stand up. I have a hard time being seated. My name is Mike Murphy. I'm running for Clark County Public Administrator. Most of you don't even know what that is. If you die without a will or without a trust or an executor, and you think that doesn't happen very often, and unfortunately in Clark County it happens between 2,000 and 5,000 times a year, someone has to take responsibility for your property and liquidate it and handle all of that. The other day at the Clark County Public Administrator's office, the investigators went into a home and took $186,000 in cash and 300 firearms out of a house for safekeeping. Someone needs to be held accountable for that, and how do we know that wasn't $200,000 or $300,000? Now, I'm not saying that any of those folks are doing anything illegal, because they're not, but accountability is extremely important. I had the unique opportunity to run that office for about a year because I was asked to come in as a special consultant during the previous administration, when unfortunately Jeff German was murdered by that particular public administrator. I won't mention his name because I think we need to honor Jeff, not the person who murdered him. He's now in prison. Rita Reed got elected. She's a Democrat. She is not running again, and she asked me if I would come in and take over the office and asked me to run it as endorsement. I want you to know that it's important that you have trust, that you have accountability, and that we utilize every possible resource to make sure that we liquidate those properties appropriately and that we get them done with speed, because nothing gets better with time when houses sit vacant and cars sit in storage lots. Having said that, I have a plethora of things I'd like to tell you I'd like to do, but I only have 90 seconds. So this is what I'm going to tell you. My background. I started law enforcement at 18 years of age in Kansas City, Kansas. Spent 8 years there, 10 years in Boulder City, 10 years as the police chief in Mesquite, 3 years in the city of Las Vegas, and I was your county coroner for a total of 14 years. 13 years, and then I was brought back a second time during the pandemic. I know how the system works, I know how to work within the system, but most importantly, I know how to do the right thing for constituents. And one of the other things that's lacking in this office is the ability to stop what's going on, and that is people should be able to have access to wills and trusts and executors so that we can prevent government from getting in your life and instead do some preventive work and then handle what's left after that. Having said that, I'm Mike Murphy. I want you to vote for me. Thank you very much for your time and the opportunity.
How do you follow that? What he said.
You already had your 90 seconds. Sit down.
I'm Bill Young and run for county recorder. You know, Lee said, you know, what's the cost to your family for running for office? Well, what's the cost to all of our families if we don't get good conservative government in Clark County?
Come on.
That's what it's about. It's about all of your families, not just mine. And those deeds down there and those records represent the entire wealth of Clark County. The property that's sitting on is billions, probably hitting $1 trillion. They have to be accurate, they have to be safe, they have to be secure, and they have to be accessible for the businesses that need them, the citizens that need them, lawyers, just everybody that needs them. Of course, we don't make laws. We follow the laws that these legislators will make. We're going to follow them to the T. We have no choice. We're going to make sure your records are there and available, and they're not going to be hacked. They're not going to be abused. Their parcel numbers are going to match up with other parcel numbers and where they need to be. The mineral rights are going to be protected. But you got to go to work, first of all, to do all those things. You got to show up. There's a lot of absenteeism in all these offices because they have some pretty good employees running it. We got to get rid of that. We got to have our leadership on site. Honest days work, honest days pay.
Come on.
I'm Bill Young, and I'm running for your county recorder.
Hi everyone, my name is Manny Kess. I'm also running for County Commission, District E. Dr. Maxim is in a different district. We can all spend an hour up here to tell you why we're running, what we're going to change. My why is right there, 13-month-old tomorrow. We live in our district, and my wife is not allowed to take her to the supermarket. They can't go to the park because it's not safe. So along with what they said, for me, we just need one thing, transparency. If you do your job, we can see what you're doing. If you're not good at it, we fire you and replace you. The county commission is the most powerful body in the state, and most of these people in here that are in the know have no idea what we do. That's a problem. $10 billion budget, every business license, everything on the strip is run by the county commission. That airport that was renamed, county commission. We had no say in it. So it's very, very simple. I'm not running because I enjoy it. I lose money every day I do this. I own 6 companies. I miss time with my family. I do it because we need to have somebody that's going to be a voice for us, that's going to understand what the job is. It says public service, but they don't serve us, they serve each other. And I'm going to make an uncomfortable statement.
Come on.
I don't know the gentleman, the councilman, I don't know Michelle. Michelle's a wonderful lady, I wish her the best of luck. Why are politicians that we pay for coming to meetings supporting other politicians? Do your job, be great at it. You don't have to sit here and tell me someone else is good at it. We need people to stand up and do a good job. We, the voters, will handle the rest. Manny Kess, County Commission.
Okay. Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't remember, my name is Dr. Howell, and I'm actually running for Clark County Clerk. So for me, the clerk's position is very interesting. In most places, the clerks are also in charge of the voting, which I wish that would be the case here in Clark County. Unfortunately, Clark County has its own separate department, and yeah, I'd be very interested to crack the hood of that, see what's going on. But with that all said, the thing that we do here that is of import is that we are in charge of the wedding licenses and fictitious name statements, and we also handle the minutes of the Clark County meetings. However, getting back to the wedding licenses, do you realize that our wedding industry here in Clark County is $2.1 billion a year? That's, you know, over like the wedding industry as well as catering and that sort of thing. And we are known now as the wedding capital of the world, which is excellent, right? Yeah, bravo. So the reason I am running is because I really felt that God was saying it's time for you to run. Remember that little talk I just gave about separation of church and state? Well, the very fact that I'm a pastor running for an office kind of, you know, it brings up that old question, doesn't it? And that's part of the reason why he wants me to run, is so we can have that conversation. With that said, though, Clark County Clerk especially is very interesting, because with this idea of Las Vegas being this capital, I basically asked God, well, what is it that you want me to do with this? And he said, well, I love marriage. I mean, I invented it, but I want my marriages to last. He said, oh, I see. So my vision is to rebrand Las Vegas as the wedding and anniversary capital of the world. Like that? Woo, if you think about it, right? If you do this right, you only get married once, right? But you celebrate your anniversary every year. You stay married. So those are excuses for you to come back to Las Vegas to celebrate that wonderful nuptial that you first did in Las Vegas. So I think it's a great thing. God came up with that idea, not me. And the way to incentivize people to come back is that we're now going to start a rewards program. So by being married in Las Vegas, you are now eligible to be part of the Vegas Vows Forever program. Like that, Vegas Vows Forever. It is an opt-in program, so you're not going to be forced to be a part of it. However, if you do opt in, it's going to be a public-private partnership. All of the rewards will be donated by casinos, by the restaurants, by the venues, by the folks that could really benefit from this tourism. So what we're going to do is every time then you come back to Las Vegas to celebrate your anniversary, we're going to give you something, you know, like a free show or a free dinner, maybe even a free stay, so you can see. But again, what we're trying to do is create longevity in that union. So what we're going to do is every year you stay married, the prizes get bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you can imagine, you know, when you're celebrating your 50th anniversary, the whole tab is probably going to be on the program. You see how that works? Okay? But those are the kinds of things that we want to emphasize, those are the things that we want to support. And, you know, because to be honest, right, one of the things we're known as, Las Vegas, is Sin City. Not a great thing, right? So by really pushing this idea of family and of stability and of, you know, of good traditional values, we can rebrand our entire area so that we can become the city of light. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So that's what I'm trying to do, and that's why I hope that you will vote for me for County Clerk. Okay, for more information, please visit my website. It's howellshaw.com. HOWELLSHAW.com. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm a corporate consultant. God, I'm a corporate guy. I'm a corporate consultant. I work with corporate structure and leadership and C-suites and that kind of thing. So I am super interested anytime I have the opportunity to get around a potential new team. And what I love about this right here, guys, what if we sent this team, including Mr. Mitchell Tracy, who couldn't be here today, but you'll hear from next time. What if we sent, my question for you guys is, what if we sent all of you as a slave into our Clark County government? What would you feel like, and I will let you guys decide amongst yourselves who you want to answer first or whatnot. What do you think the most measurable difference that you would demonstrate as a team and as a culture, a leadership culture? What is the most measurable difference that you would demonstrate versus a straight, let's say, Democrat platform?
Honestly, I don't care about R versus D. That's a whole other conversation. But the reality is, the majority of us are business owners. We're looking to be in a position that our strengths work well. I'm replacing a career politician who happens to be an attorney who doesn't practice anymore. He has no idea how to balance payroll, what a COG is, cost of goods, none of these things. So by putting people in a position where they know what they're actually doing, you're getting value add from day one. R versus D doesn't matter, but it is a fun fact. Up until April Becker won, we had a completely, all 7 commissioners were Democrats for the past 20 years. In my seat, there has never been a Republican. So that plays into it, but personally, I don't go into the party politics. There's plenty of Democrats that do a good job. There's a lot of Republicans that do a terrible job. So for me, it's simple. Get the right people in office that care, that want to create change, and the rest will work itself out. So these people here know what they're doing. So give them a chance to actually serve you. Not the person who was an assembly person and he failed. Then he became a state senator. Then he became a commissioner. Then they just jump around. Politics is the only job where you fail always.
That's right.
If I'm bad at my job, you're going to fire me. He's a bad pastor. No one's going to go listen to him, right? But in politics, they keep on finding a way because they have name ID, they raise a bunch of money, they're a mafia, they help each other. So we have to change that ideology, and it starts with us. The voters, it's our fault. They don't vote themselves in, we vote them in. So we need to start caring more and paying attention.
So let me, before you go, just a point of clarity. I know that there's a lot of Republicans sitting at this table, but we champion conservative values. So for my money, you're sitting at this table because you're conservatives, not because you're Republican. Right? We had a couple of people ahead of time here that walked in, and they were like, hey, what is this? And I said, what's this Henderson Conservatives? And we started to talk. And they just happened to walk in because they were here to see a car or something. And he goes, well, can libertarians join? I said, heck yes. Get yourself right up here and get some food. You come on and post up. Now, he didn't. They were busy doing other stuff. But just for the record, Henderson Conservatives is Henderson Conservatives, not Henderson Republicans. We happen to agree more readily probably with the Republican platform because we're conservative. But I love your point. We do need to not be defined a lot of times by that DR battle, because there are some folks that are on the Republican side that I'm like, really? They're doing exactly what you talked about. So anyway, thank you very much. I love that.
Well, I would say a couple of things. If elected, I will also be the first Republican ever elected to the office that I'm running for. And I realize you're saying it's about conservatives. I'm going to tell you the clock's ticking. And we got to get busy. We got to get taken care of. We got to get the vote out. And that includes all parties and getting people voting for us that think differently, that are willing to make decisions. I don't want multiple terms. I want one. Just one. To go in and fix it and then to get out of the way. People don't need me there forever, but they need me to get in there and get it done. And so the clock's ticking, we need to make sure we take care of business. That's one. The second one is that I believe what you're looking at is people that are not afraid to make decisions. I oftentimes think that once people get elected, they make decisions based on what's going to get them reelected, not what's going to get the job done.
Say that again, please.
I said, I believe that people make decisions based on what's going to get them elected, not what's going to get the job done. I'm not looking for another term. I want one. I want to go in and take care of it. Yeah. By the way, feel free to record that. Feel free to hold me accountable, and feel free to understand that's all I need is one. So, I like to make decisions. I have a doctorate in business. And I did that because my background's law enforcement. People were like, why didn't you get into criminal justice? I already know how to be a cop. I needed to know how to run a business. Because everything everyone up here wants to do is running a part of the Clark County business, which is what the citizens want. There's not one time that any of us have gone up to a constituent or been serving someone and said, hey, listen, before I help you, when I was the county coroner, I didn't walk up and go, is this decedent and their family an independent, a Republican, or a Democrat? I said, what can I help you with and what do you need? And that's what this group wants. They want to help people, they want to provide to the citizens, and they want to make decisions. That's what I have to say.
Come on.
Hello. Well, to follow that up, I've noticed, and I've been on the other side of the counter at recorder's offices and other government offices. And as a policeman of many years, answering to the politicians about the policies that they create. All those three words have one thing in common. It's the letters P-O-L-I. And the politicians make the policies that the police and the employees of the government enforce. But they all forget the other four-letter P-O-L-I word. It's called polite. Polite. And I'm going to make sure that the citizens that come to our office, or anybody that needs records, get that service and are respected and are helped. You know, the phone lines are terrible. You call down there and press this for that. We were on hold. This is how many minutes. There's no way to answer your phones on Friday. They're all off since COVID. I would like to see some Friday service because I will say this: our businesses, Manny's businesses, may need a deed on Friday. May need some help, but they seem to feather their own schedule for their interests and not your interests. They all forget that it's the public office. That office belongs to you. My name will be on the door, but I'm not gonna forget who the office belongs to, and we're gonna conduct our services accordingly.
And the most important thing is that everybody sitting up here, I know I'm the same way. I'm only in this office for 4 years. I'm not looking for another term. I'm gonna get everything done that needs to get done. People say, what can you do as a Clark County assessor? Just watch me. There's no closed doors. I will go to Carson City, get legislation done, because we need to take care of our homeowners. Thank you.
Wait till it's green.
Hello. Yeah, so I'll just say that Vegas is not just hotel and restaurant and tourism anymore. You can be so much more. You can diversify this economy. I think healthcare is a big staple. I think the Air Force being here has been a big attraction, and I served here at Nellis Air Force Base. And so we don't have to be in the past. You know, what Gibson has done is A, he's been a crony for too many people. B, he's been doing and living on hotel and tourism, and his Allegiant Stadium deal, he got $850 million for his Western Elite company. This is corrupt. This should not be done. And A, I'm not that rich, so you don't have anything to worry about. And I'm gonna serve this community because I'm serving for my kids and future kids. And we're all up here because we care, and we're all up here because we see a problem. This country is not what I laid my life out for. This country is not the country I remember in my 20s, and I'll be damned if I give it away freely. So I'm gonna fight.
So if I could get back to kind of your initial statement, which was, what can we as a slate accomplish as opposed to just, one to twosies? I think what you're seeing here is a group of people who are here to serve. They understand the definition of public servant, and as a Christian, we understand the idea of servant leadership, right? Because the one we follow, Jesus, he served others. He sacrificed for others. That is our model, okay? The other thing that you're gonna get here is transparency. So I think one of the things that we all understand is that right now, the Clark County system is completely opaque. You have no idea how the money's being spent, where it's being spent, and what did you actually get for the money that you put into this thing? So we're all, I think, committed to being very transparent, to you, the taxpayers, who are basically our bosses. The other thing is the whole understanding of the DEI kind of thing, because if you're not a conservative, let's say, this whole trying to do critical race theory, trying to put people in, on the basis of their gender, or not their gender per se, but their sexual orientation or their race, that is not what we believe in. We believe in meritocracy. We believe in, if you do a good job, you should be rewarded. If you don't do a good job, we'll find somebody else. There is nothing wrong with that. And that will lead to a much more efficient system. And that is why you really need to vote these people into office so that Clark County will become less bloated. Because that's really what it is right now. I mean, we need a Doge, for our entire Clark County, right? So that's why we have to vote for all these votes, okay?
I love it. So I want to piggyback off of that, if we could, just a little bit. There is, in our space in this valley, we have state government active, we have Clark County government active, and then we have several municipalities. In your perspective, do you see any places where right now we have points of collision or friction between municipalities and Clark County, and eventually the state, I would assume, although to a lesser extent, but between municipalities, for instance, Henderson and Clark County, or North Las Vegas and Clark County, do you see places where there's friction, or we have things that are clunky in that space, the plug in the jug? And are there things that we can do to make that work better?
You go on.
Turn it back on. Gotta wait for the green.
You're talking about government redundancy, and, you know, tax dollars being spent on basically the same thing, just with another department that do the same thing. We have that a lot in a lot of jurisdictions like constables and sheriff's departments, municipalities and marshal office and police, like those kind of things are similar functions. But they all have separate chiefs, separate captains, separate, this 10-year police chief can tell you that. There's so much, and their systems have to talk to so many different agencies, and so you have warrants filed with one agency that the other agency may not see. And JP courts and different things like that. So there's a lot of places where we can doge this county. It takes time, and you don't want a wrecking ball to interfere with these current service levels, but you do need to make some efforts. And what you need to put on the ballot, put on the ballot. But let the people modernize the spending of their dollars and not just pump up somebody's fiefdom in the way things have gone. Let's get efficient with our money.
Well, there we go, it turned green. To build off that, I think the word that I just heard was fiefdom. And what we need to quit doing is allowing people to build individual kingdoms and start working together. I have never been in any situation that got better by lack of communication. So city, state, federal, and your county folks need to listen more than they talk. They need to make sure that they understand and that they're not just about their particular organization, but the greater good of all of them. And if we'll put our egos aside and work together and communicate, you know, they say in real estate the three most important words are location, location, location. I'm going to tell you in problem solving it's communication, communication, and communication. So if we quit building those fiefdoms, start working towards the greater good and understanding that in some instances that this particular department may need the money that I was going to get earmarked, and that we share in the responsibility, share in the resources, and quit infighting and start communicating and understanding. And I want to build off of what was just said a minute ago, which is it's not my office, it's the people's. You know, when I drove a police car around, I understood it wasn't my police car. As a matter of fact, I referred to it as my G ride, my government ride. It belongs to the government. The desk belongs to the government. The office belongs to the government. And the government is the people. So how do we get rid of that? How do we stop those collisions? The first one is we have to communicate with each other. Second is we got to put our egos, check it at the door, and make sure that we're working towards the betterment of the constituent, not just us, so that when we're listening to understand, not just to respond.
Love it.
When I worked for the federal government, I always felt like I had a duty to the taxpayers who paid my salary to do my job. And that's how I view how all of us feel. It's our duty to work for you. Your taxes pay our salary.
Sir, let me throw this one little added term to the question. It doesn't redirect the whole question, but it may hone it a little bit. Do you, as a part of that question, do you feel like there is siloing that is going on right now, which is counterproductive? I'm not talking about focus or expertise kind of things, like we handle the things that we're expert at, you know, whether it's record or administration. I'm talking about, it's, you know, we use the term fiefdom. I love it. Do you feel like that's the case?
So when you asked the question, the thing that popped in my head was ego. And Mr. Murphy addressed it. But to add to what you just said, yes. And I'll give you two examples. Right now, we're getting an NBA team. Right? Big conversation. The mayor said, hey, NBA, come over here. I want to show you where you should put your team. And then the governor's like, no, come over here. I want to show you where you should put your team. If there's no conversation between them, like, hey, what makes the most most not sense. But let's get really micro. I want to represent District E, but also as a commissioner, you represent the whole county. There's 7 counties. 7 counties. There's 7 districts in Clark County. District E is from the Strip east all the way to Las Vegas. It is arguably the lowest income out of the 7 counties. So when I drive around with my family and I notice bus stops that don't have any shade, it really bothers me because our bus stops always have people. If you drive around Henderson or Summerlin, beautiful bus stops, shade, nobody there. So you've got to do some digging. Why is that? The answer is very simple. It's an ordinance change that the current commissioner from my district didn't want to do. RTC approached him a year ago and said, hey, it's 36 inches that you need. Let's just give you an example. This particular bus stop has 32. If you just make an ordinance change, you can put a new bus stop here, put some shade and help people. For 1 year, he hasn't done a simple thing. So what you're saying, yes, it's people caring, transparency, but also it's ego. I don't care about that. I want to talk about the big stuff. That's going to make me look good and feed my ego. So it's all of that put together, and that's what this group wants to change. I don't see an ego. I see people that want to fix things, and let's be real. We can't fix it all, but we're willing to fight to create as much positive change as we can. And if we do it, then some other people that are sitting here might want to run in a few years. Hey, I like what Dr. Shaw said and did. Oh, I like what Mr. Murphy said. Oh, I like what Judy Joe did. And now I want to go do it. Not the 30 and 40-year career politicians just regurgitating into another seat.
Dr. Joe.
Yeah, I mean, of course there's siloing. You know, the last 20 years, I think the county commission has been primarily D-run. And yes, I've said this from the very beginning, that it ain't a red and blue thing, it's red, white, and blue. But these people don't represent your interests. I can tell you, Jim Gibson has not done one thing for this community except destroy it. With his mandates for 2020 during the COVID lockdown, with his stuff regarding F1 that benefited his pocket, literally, as he took a bribe, he doesn't represent you, and yet he gets placed there each and every year. Whether he be the mayor, which I'm not really sure what he did then, that was way before my time, but I talked to this community and there's nothing that he's done. So there's direct siloing, and the only way we're gonna change things is A, to ruffle their feathers, B, to get 2 or 3 of us in there that can be with the likes of April Becker or Marilyn Kirkpatrick, and we can actually move the needle and have a conversation. Because these people aren't interested in having conversations. They are interested in feeding their pocket and feeding their whatever sets them aside. So there's definite siloing, and it's up to us to hold everyone accountable. And that means not just listen to us, get inspired, and then go on to your day, but this means go and door knock. It means go and make calls. It means tell 10 to 20 to 30 people, because my guy's gonna spend 800 to $1 million, and I'm gonna spend, Lord willing, God willing, 150K, and I'm gonna beat him. But if I can't get up to that 150K, that makes everything this much tougher. And it's not money that's gonna win this race, it's gonna be fortitude, it's gonna be your grit and your fight.
So, no, please do. So, I'm in my happy place right now. So, if you guys are there as a team, do you feel like right now, with what you know, and you're on the outside to some extent, waiting to be in, behind the desk, the government desk, do you feel like there's a mechanism in place that allows you to be creative, cross the silos, shatter those walls, and work together as a team? Not just obviously the commission meets and does those things and has table business that they have to address, but like the mechanism, the organism of Clark County government. Do you feel like there is a mechanism in place that's going to make it possible to table great ideas and then make those calls like you talked about, where it's like, oh, maybe we share some budget on this, but if you're siloed, How do you have that collaboration? Do you feel like that? Not everybody has to answer. Do you feel like that's legitimate?
To answer my point of view is that when you look at the people up here, every one of us has a mission to get a job done. We are not career politicians. And we're willing to work with each other. We are open. We're all business people. We know how to get things done. We are not a 10, 15-year politician who fails up. Because we care. We're sitting here. It's not easy, people, to run for public office. I mean, it's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of time. We need your help. We need you to get the vote out. We need you to get 10 other people to vote. We need help. We need donations. We need door knocking. Because we can do this. We can flip Nevada red if every one of us gets out there and get 10 other people to vote. We can do this.
I want to add, the people sitting here, to me, and obviously are a result of failed politicians, Democrat mostly, and their policies. We're sitting here because of that. So if you want some more of the same, continue to vote the same way. If you want something new, we're sitting here, and there's a lot of folks in other offices. And just remember this, all the state, federal, state, local people that are elected to office, they all come out of the same subdivisions. All of them. They're just regular human beings, but you gotta find out what motivates them. Christianity, as we talked about today, is a big motivator for me because they have a moral compass. They have the furtherance of humanity in their heart and the greater good. That's what it's all about. So you gotta vote for that, and you gotta keep that in mind when you go out there. We're the result of what's been failed. If you want to change, it's up to you in November.
I agree with both of them, but to answer your question specifically, we're all here because we're frustrated, we're not happy. And it's a lack of transparency, it's a lack of communication, it's a lack of respect. So when I say what I want to do, I think we're all going to do the same thing. Open door policy. We're going to have our cell phones, public information, our emails. If you have a problem, reach out to us. We'll get back to you. We might not be able to fix everyone's problem, but we're going to try. And that's leaps and boundaries better than what they're doing currently. And for me, God willing, I win. I'm a conservative and I'm a Republican. It is a partisan seat. So there's only 1 out of 7 there now. I win, it's 2. He wins, it's 3. We're still a minority. I don't care. I have an issue in my district, Maryland, whoever else is left, you're going to hear from me. Naft, who's the chairman, this is my district's problem. Hey, pay attention. I don't care about your district. This is my district's issue. I need shade in my bus stops. I need the pools that have been closed for 2 years open. I'm not going to sit in my office with my door closed, not answering people. So we collectively are going to care, and that opens the lines of communication. So when the Henderson mayor needs something, they know, oh, I can reach out to whoever I need out of these people. If North Las Vegas, McCurdy has a problem, he's not going to say, oh man, that's a Republican. Just say, oh no, you know what, I can make these help, let me call him, and I'm going to talk to him. And as long as it's not something crazy, we're going to figure out a way to serve people. So to answer your question, yes, we are going to do what they're not doing. Respect the voters, respect the community, be their voice, and make things happen.
Love it.
I do want to add too that it's a very interesting situation because 4 of us here are going to be more or less the bureaucrats, right? And we have specific rules that we have to follow in our offices because that's the law. My job is I'm going to have to follow the law. The law in Nevada is that homosexuals can be married. As a pastor, I have a problem with that just personally, but as Clark County Clerk, I'm going to do my job because that is the law, okay? Manny and Dr. John, however, they are going to be the legislators. They're the ones that come up with these policies. So what we're going to do is, as the people who are basically the executors of their policies, we're going to talk together because we trust each other. We have the same foundation. We have the same worldview. That's a good thing. and then we can come to Manny and come to Dr. John and say, hey, you know, it would be really helpful if we could change this law. You know, like for instance, right now, we can't do virtual wedding licenses because the law says you must appear in person before a clerk. That's the reason we have 1 hour waits for, you know, the notary publics to do their thing. So it's like, hey, Manny, Dr. John, could you please help us change the law so we can also allow for virtual verification of identity? They can put that into place and voila. Now we can have virtual wedding licenses done right there at the casinos. See how that would work? So yes, I think by putting us all in, there is a synergy that will happen. So
With breathalyzers.
with breathalyzers.
Yeah, thank you.
Virtual breathalyzers, exactly.
I want you to know I'm one of those guys that likes sayings, and so I have two for you. The first one is, if things aren't going well, a fish stinks from its head. People that are responsible for running organizations, if the organization is not running well, you have to hold the leader accountable.
Come on.
Bottom line, everything that happens within an organization that I'm responsible for is my responsibility. Not always my fault, but my responsibility. Secondly, Einstein said that if you do the same thing over and over again, insanity is expecting a different result. It's time for a different result. Let's do something different.
Right here. Dr. John.
Yeah, so I'll take Manny's advice, but basically I think we're all disruptors here. I know I've been a disruptor all my life, even when I served in the Air Force, even when I was being indoctrinated as a physician, and these people have been bought and sold, and they literally have not been interested in helping you, and every one of us here wants to help the community because we're suffering for it. Our kids are suffering for it, and if we don't do anything, I fear what America may become. So it's time to step forward.
Here, here. All right, guys. As we kind of wind down with this, what I would like you to do, let's start over here with you, Dr. Howell, and just go down the list and individually, if you could tell us the best way for us to be helpful for you here in crossing the finish line successfully and winning. What's it going to take to win your race? How can we help?
Wonderful. Thank you. So for me, number one is to pray. Please pray for me. Because, you know, we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and the rulers of the air, all right? It's a spiritual battle first. Number two, I do need help with my finances because, unfortunately, Clark County is a very big place. And in order to reach voters efficiently, you have to use different processes. I, for one, like for instance, I'm not planning on using any mailers, not even yard signs per se, because it's shown to not be that effective. However, using direct email, using texting, using social media, that has been proven to be very effective, but it costs money to do that. So again, howellshaw.com, there's a nice little button that says donate, okay? You can help me there. And then thirdly, we need people to door knock. I heard Victor Jakes. Does everyone know who Victor Jakes is? Yeah, excellent reporter at the RJ. In his speech, he said, for this midterm, the big difference is not persuading people. It is getting them to participate. So it's all about getting our voters to the polls and making them vote. Okay? So that's it for me. Thank you.
We should all say the same thing. My voice carried. We're all going to say the same thing. Pray for us. We need it because we're going up against Goliaths. But David did slay Goliath. We all need money because we're going up against the machine. They're well funded. Unlike the Republican Party, the Democratic Party sticks together. They outraise Republicans 3-1 on average.
And they show up.
And they show up. So, and for me, the majority of my district is independent. So much like Dr. Shaw, door knocking, phone banking, That's what wins elections. Money helps, but it's telling people to get out to vote and who to vote for, because unfortunately, most people do not pay attention. They're too busy with their lives. So they were raised with a letter. I'm an R, I'm a D, and sometimes you get lazy at the DV and they make you a nonpartisan. We have to get people to pay attention, say, all right, vote for this person in this race because he or she cares and is going to create change. That's what matters. So please tell your friends, your family, your neighbors. Yard signs help because yes, they're expensive, but repetition is what gets people to go to the ballot box and say, oh, I know that name. We might not want to agree, but President Trump won in 16 because he was a celebrity apprentice guy. He wasn't winning because he was a rocket scientist with all these new ideas. So name ID is what really gets you over the hump. So please spread the word. My name is Manny Kess. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, specifically, I think you should go to every one of our Facebooks and like the page so that you get our posting, every one of them. And do that today. And then share it when you can with your friends. Mention our names. Again, what Manny said is it's about name recognition. And then these candidates need to go do the same thing with each other. And we need numbers or power in numbers. So we need that visibility. When I go post or like somebody's page, they see Bill Young for Clark County Reporter in that little spot in the comment or in the likes. And they should be doing all the same thing. And because I'm liking these guys' pages also. Because if you're supporting Manny, you're going to see me on your page and vice versa. So that's very important, social media. If you catch somebody tearing down signs, no matter which party you're on, wow, we don't like that. Everybody's got the right to free press. And just go out there and make sure we need independents. We need the Republicans to all come out. But we're going to need probably 10% more of the independents than the Democrats do. And that's just a fact. Maybe 15%. And they're out there, and they got to go somewhere. So bring them here to the conservative side. Thank you.
I'm learning to wait for the agreement.
Yeah.
So I've been told by my campaign person, hi Lisa, thanks for being here, girl. I've been told that it's all about name recognition. So Mike Murphy, Mike Murphy, Mike Murphy, Mike Murphy. Murphy for Clark County Public Administrator. .com. I'm also going to tell you that I will never turn down a prayer or a blessing. I believe that there's two blessings that happen when you pray. The first one is you get one for doing it, and I get one for doing it for me, and so that I'll pay that forward. But I also want you to know that everything that's been said here, like the Facebook page, do all those kinds of things, it's important. But what I would really like is for all of you to go out and tell 10 people and ask them to tell 10 people and ask them to tell 10 people. That synergy is what makes the difference. That's what gives that name recognition. And I want you to know, give us the opportunity. We will not disappoint if you'll just give us a chance. Thank you for that. Mike Murphy, by the way. Mike Murphy.
Absolutely. I think the most important thing for everybody here, you've got to get out and vote. And you have to tell 10 other people to vote and get 10 other people. If we can win this race, we can flip Nevada red. Everybody has to get out and vote. We were very disappointed with the numbers for the primary. If we can get every Republican out there, we got a shot, people, and let's not blow it. We can do it. Just get out and vote and tell 10 people, and tell 10 more people. Thank you. Judy Joe for Clark County Assessor.
So in summary, pray for us, pray for our nation. Definitely get involved. If you've been on the sideline, I promise you that's where the devil lives. He created, let's say the middle of the fence, he created that fence. It's time to pick a lane. And you should know by now which lane to pick. And yeah, go tell people. Get with me, get with their representatives, search us on, I have a digital thumbprint that is fairly large, just for how insignificant I am in this community. So you can find out anything and everything about us. So please just care. Thank you for your support. Remember Dr. John Maxim on voting day, and God bless.
for some great input. Oh, we're going to open this up and let you ask questions. I would go. Let's not get it twisted. All right, so we're going to take 13 seconds of questions. Oh, we got our first hand up, please.
2 quick questions. For a living, I oversee nuclear projects in the governor's office, so I want to know what you thought about nuclear energy in the state. Secondly, I have a nonprofit, and I do that. I am a chaplain for Metro, Las Vegas Fire, Clark County Fire, University Police. So I want to know what you're going to do for first responders. I do 30 hours a month of ride along. I'm the South Central area command chaplain, and again, so the greater UNLV area. So kind of want to both things, nuclear, and what are you going to do for first responders to support police and fire?
Anybody?
Yeah, so those are actually big on my, not the nuclear, but I like small nuclear reactors until we come up with something better. So yes, support. The first responders are critical to where we go from here. So number one, Manny's mentioned the budget, somewhere between 10 and 12 billion. We're gonna support Metro, we're gonna support, I know that there's sometimes firehouses that are unmanned and all of that, and so obviously that for safety purposes that does not need to happen. I'd like to hear more from you directly what you need, and number one, how often have you asked inept people and them not respond, or why they didn't respond in the first place, because that's usually where the story starts and lies. So yeah, support those for sure.
For me, the answer is simple. I've said this many times today. Respect the community. Ask, learn what the issues are, and fix them. I can't tell you what I'm going to do because I don't know what the issues are. My wife and I and our daughter have spent the past 8 months talking to the community. My bullet points on my website, I didn't just come up with them because I talked to ChatGPT or whatever other AI. We went out and met with people in the community. What are your issues? And it was the same ones. Public safety, homelessness, cost of living. The politicians don't care about us. That's what I want to change. So I can't tell you today what I'm going to do for nuclear. I have no idea. No, it's a good question. My point is, I can't tell you. I can tell you the budget is over $10 million. We're one of the few counties in the nation that do not publish it online. It's one of 2 reasons. We're lazy, we're hiding something. I hope we're lazy. Probably it's the other one, but get me elected, first order of business. Transparency starts by seeing where the money is. I do forums whenever I get invited, and they ask me, what are you going to cut? What are you going to fix? I have no idea. I got to see it first. I own restaurants. I'm not going to fire 5 people. Maybe they're not the issue. Maybe I'm paying too much for my produce. Maybe I'm paying too much for my chicken. You know what? Maybe my sous chef is taking 2-hour lunches. I have to see what the problem is, and then I can fix it. So with this group here, we're going to ask the questions that our constituents tell us this is the problem. And what we're not going to do is go to our meetings every month and be quiet. And even if it's not in my purview, if it matters to my constituents, I have a pulpit. As a commissioner, I can say X, Y, Z is happening. What are we doing? Which will then help other departments and other people have to get involved. Oh wait, Commissioner Kess said this. We better mind our P's and Q's because now we're going to get asked in the next meeting to come and speak on it. So to answer your question very bluntly, Karen, that's what we're going to do.
I don't have a question for you, but I do have an invitation. I'd like to invite you, along with my husband, to come to our Conservative Town Hall, North Las Vegas. We meet the first Thursday of every month. Dr. Howell, Judy, Jill, they have been showing up. And I believe that if you want voters in North Las Vegas to vote for you, they need to see you. They need to meet you. So you have a cordial invitation, including the commission candidates, because we have people throughout the valley. So, first Thursday of every month. I can reach out to you on Facebook and send you an invitation to our town hall, and we would love to see you.
Just to add to that, make sure you get your literature and we'll put it out.
Mr. Rao.
First of all, fantastic town. Thank you guys for running for office. You know, the biggest problem with numbers is the inner city. We got to get those numbers up. We're starting an organization. We just started it last couple of days ago. It's the East Side Republican Alliance. And you're all invited August 6th. We definitely want to hear what you have to say so we can get your names out in the inner city. But what can you guys do to get the name out of it? What are your recommendations? How can we get your name out there? You know, this homeless problem, you know, Manny's talking about his wife and his kids can't go to the park. The other commissioner over here, I was talking to him, all the homeless over on Russell and Boulder City, and these guys are clueless when it comes to public safety, and we're a tourist town. How can you have a tourist town where people aren't safe? And the other thing is that a lot of things that they ask you guys, you know, like, what are you going to do? Let's not forget that you live in this county too, just like me. You drive the same streets I drive. You go to the same parks I drive. It's for not only your constituents, it's you're feeling the pain. So what can we do and what can you do to get our name, our proven track record of conservatism in the inner city of Clark County?
What I think is really important, and thank you, Al, for asking that question. You know, people, it's up to you. What can you do? You can, when people ask you, who should I vote for? What I do, if I've been doing it since 2020, 2022, 2024, I get a list, even if it's not in my area, and I live in Henderson, North Las Vegas, and Mesquite, the entire Clark County. I will put out the names of who I think the judges should be, who I think our commissioners should be, who I think we should vote for CD4, CD3, Cody Whipple in 4, and Carrie Buck and Mario O'Donnell. We need to get our people out there. We need to get our names out there. We need to get everybody on this panel on a sheet of paper and give it to every voter, because they don't know and we don't know where they are. We don't know if they're in North Las Vegas. We don't know if they're in Mesquite, but we need their vote and we need that name recognition. So please, please everybody, help all of us, and you'll be helping yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's this. What can't you do? Anything that you do will be helpful. You can talk to 10 people. You can contact us and get 10 signs. You know, we've spent money trying to orchestrate this, but we can't necessarily circulate it. We're one person or we're one small body, but together, if we come together, you can do anything. I've texted 100 people before since 2020 for either presidential elections, slate cards, etc. Am I annoying? Probably. Honestly, I don't care because I see the writing on the wall. And it's time to stand up and fight for this country because it's not going to be here much longer if we sit and we do nothing. So please do nothing no more. Let's do something.
Thank you. I have one other thing to add. If you follow Governor Lombardo's page, he has a great following in this county and in the state. And so I would put my name on his follow list and do that because it stems from there. The more support he has, the more conservatives that are going to come out because they think they can win, and they can. But you have to believe it here. You got to be all out with it. So start with the governor, who's done a tremendous job, and then work down with your candidates. But like countywide offices, we have 3 U.S. congressmen running. Don't like those congressmen. Go see what they're saying. Get on their comments. Do all those things. Make sure they're good conservative suggestions and comments. Use your freedom of speech. Social media is a big thing. And you're driving, you're sitting and look at your phone at night or in the morning while you're having your coffee. you have time to look at it. If you're driving by my sign at 60 miles an hour, you may see, go down, that's it. You may, or you may not.
All right.
Do those little things.
Another question.
So I am the secretary for the Nevada Young Republicans. My name's Joe Michael, some of you know me. And as you guys know, Nevada has one of the worst gas taxes in the country. And this is mainly a question of the county commissioner candidates, because the rest of you would have nothing to do with that. But what are the two of you prepared to do about the oppressive gas tax that we have in this county and in this state?
So the gas tax is 78.2 cents and is broken down in state, federal, and then where me and Manny come in at the Clark County level is 9.5, 10% give or take. And the problem is you voted on it in 2016, you did not vote on it in 2026. The county commissioners, including, I think only April Becker was the one, all 6 others, they pushed it forward and they put it forward for another 10 years. So you guys want to change, you got to get me and Manny in there first, and then we're going to ruffle a lot of feathers. But until then, you're going to have to wait and see, because there's nothing we can do until we actually can have a conversation. Now, out of those 7, 3, probably 4 are worthy of having a conversation with. The others, they've sold their soul a long time ago.
All right. I like that for a response.
Hello, my name is Cosmo Cavallo. I recently relocated back to Vegas. I work for the Small Business Administration. And my question today is, what will you guys be able to do for some of the homeless issues that we are facing in the county, as that impacts small business and the economic growth that can bring prosperity to our communities? The other question is, I know that the state gets a lot of power from solar. I've relocated here from Virginia, and we have discovered that a lot of these solar panels are manufactured overseas by our adversaries, and there are back doors inside of these solar farms that could harm us getting power to our community in the Vegas Valley under a time of crisis. So what can we do together to try to resolve that and find a steady source of power that is reliable, and or how do we pivot into a secure solar environment?
All right.
I'll
Easy
attempt
question.
to answer that question.
Easy question.
Yes. Number one, when it comes to homelessness, I can spend an hour. It's one of my focal points of my campaign. We're spending 9 figures a year to fix it. Meanwhile, every year the number keeps going up. So back to what I said over an hour ago, transparency. Show me how much money we're spending, and then we can talk about what it's doing. I've toured the 4 largest homeless shelters here, and it's incredible because one is called the Courtyard. They have 500 beds. They're not beds. Any of you have backyards and you have lawn furniture where you like lay out to get tan? That's what a bed is. It's that mattress. So what they do is you line up, depending on the facility, they open up 4, 5, or 6 p.m. They count you in, stop at that number, spend the night, kick you out in the morning, rinse and repeat. So I toured these facilities, and I spoke to the manager and I said, a few questions for you if you don't mind. Yes. How many people try to break in? And they looked at me like, wait, what? I said, how many people try to break into your facility every day? None. Well, then why do you have armed guards on your perimeter? What's the number one cause of people not wanting to come to your facility? Again, this blank face. I said, I'll tell you, 3 issues. Sexual assault, number 1. Every woman that is homeless has a dog. That is their family, that is their protection. Only one facility in Las Vegas allows pets. So you're telling females that are homeless, you're more than welcome to line up and come in here, but your dog, your son or your daughter has to be on the street. So why would I want to do that if I'm a female? I'd rather be homeless. And number 3, they get treated like they're trash. They literally treat homeless people as if they are the scum of the earth. Now, yes, the majority of people that are homeless have some sort of issue. It might be alcohol, mental health, PTSD, but they're still human. So stop hiring armed guards to sit on their phones and man the wall. How do you fix sexual assault? Okay, you have 500 beds. You're counting people as they come in. Today we have 275 men, the rest are females. All right, 275 beds here. We put a barricade, we put one of those armed guards that we, the taxpayers, paid for there, and the rest, the other 2.25 go on this side. Next day, it's 164, okay. Easy fix. And then you put a female armed guard in the female shower, a male armed guard in the male shower. You're going to take care of and alleviate most of the problem. Sorry, it's a little long-winded, but it's infuriating. And I'm going to leave you with this idea. Public-private, $200 million is what we're spending. 100 million public, 100 million private. We are building a state-of-the-art facility. This started last year. It's going to take 4 years to build. 900 people capacity. So we're spending $200 million to build a state-of-the-art facility to help homeless people. Homeless people use the bathroom and shower on the street. Do they need a $200 million state-of-the-art facility? They need compassion, they need services, and we need more beds. Our last count was over 8,000 homeless in Clark County. We have 4,000 beds. Why don't we increase that? So I'm going to leave you with this last idea. $200 million, all the commissioners are like, woohoo, we're doing something. They're full of lies. Because if you go to the 5 biggest facilities and you give them each $1 million right now, they can increase their capabilities by 10 to 40%. So that 4,000 bed number gets close to 5,000 beds overnight, and we spent $5 million. $200 million is bragging rights. It's ego that Mr. Murphy alluded to earlier. So, but none of you here know about this $200 million facility and that it's our money. Give us an opportunity to speak and serve you, and we will make sure you know about these things. And we'll ask you to vote. Hey, we want to do this. Do you agree? If the majority of the residents say yes, we do it. If they say no, then we don't do it.
Probably most of us don't even know this problem that you mentioned.
Correct. So that's where the beginning of the issues with homelessness. And let's not lie to each other. It's the same like drugs. It's easy to eradicate drugs. What's going to happen to the ATF? What's going to happen to the police department's drug unit? What's going to happen? All these agencies that need those problems to survive. Homelessness is a billion-dollar business in America. So you're never going to eradicate it, but you can actually help and make it much better and help the people that need the help. Sorry, it's very long-winded.
Okay, no, that wasn't long-winded, it was thorough and appropriate. Okay, guys, we could go on, but we can't go on. Because they're going to turn off the lights and it's going to be 136 degrees in here in 48 seconds. So, thank you all for coming. I appreciate you. Can we have another round of applause for our panel here?